friends. This is another episode of Empire of Lies, where we discuss manipulation and disinformation in the Russian media, stage and meaning. In recent days, Russian talk shows have been filled with the same narrative. Detailed reports on the leaders' phone calls, dramatizations of a possible summit in Budapest, details of Zelenskyy's visit to Washington, and, invariably, discussions of Tomahawks, sanctions, front lines, and being right. But it's not just how these are presented in the studio that matters, but what is actually being said in public rhetoric. 1. Diplomacy as a spectacle and as an instrument of pressure. From the remarks, it's clear. The topic of the Putin-Trump summit has taken center stage, not only in the news, but also in the arguments. References to Budapest, numerous retellings of phone calls and insider information about the preparatory meetings between Lavrov and Rubio create the impression that diplomacy is in action. An important message is that Moscow is demonstrating its ability to negotiate with the US, and this is being conveyed as a diplomatic victory. At the same time, the message is consistently presented. If the US isn't holding back long-range weapons supplies and isn't depleting its own stockpiles for Kyiv's sake, then the West has fewer instruments of pressure. The rhetoric is aimed at two audiences simultaneously: domestic, to demonstrate strength and capability, and international, to influence partners' expectations and calculations. 2. Tomahawks as a symbol of the crisis, not just weapons in the materials. Tomahawks appear more as a symbol than a purely technical detail. They are a marker of the depth of military intervention, a test of Washington's resolve, and a benchmark for further negotiations. Repeated assertions that the missiles will require American operators, that their transfer is a leap into a new plane, and that their number will be symbolic reinforce the thesis. The issue isn't one package, but a reconsideration of the balance of power and the rules of the game. This is important for European readers. The debate over range is not only about the weapon's commercial effectiveness, but also about the legal, political, and strategic implications of ceding control over strikes. Hello, dear friends and comrades. Your favorite program, 60 Minutes, is live, hot on the heels of the announcement. So, Donald Trump cancelled the summit with Putin in Budapest. The US president stated that the talks will take place at some point in the future. In an attempt to put pressure on Russia, the US president also imposed new sanctions. They will affect the oil sector, Lukoil, Rosneft, and 34 other subsidiaries. The Secretary-General of the Notariat, at a meeting with whom Trump actually announced the pressure on Moscow, believes that the sanctions will definitely force Putin to comply. Bad news has also arrived for official Kyiv. Trump stated that he will not give Zelenskyy Tomahawk missiles. It has become known, according to Donald Trump himself, that training in the operation of these long-range missiles takes from 6 to 12 months. Firstly, this is a long time, and secondly, Washington has no plans to train Ukrainians at all. Trump won't attack Russia directly either, for now. And just recently, Deputy Security Council Chairman Medvedev declared the United States our adversary, and the talkative peacemaker, one can assume he was referring to Donald Trump, has fully embarked on the warpath. 3. War and domestic goals, the narrative of demoralizing the enemy. The idea is being broadcast that strikes on infrastructure have not only a military, but also a political purpose: to demoralize, undermine the economy, and force partners to reconsider their support for Kyiv. Simultaneously, casualty figures are broadcast, along with statements about the fleeting nature of the enemy's gains. The goal is to replace Ukraine's will, to resist with a desire for peace on Moscow's terms. This is a key signal. The rhetoric serves not only to justify military action, but also to prepare public opinion for a diplomatic divorce on certain terms. 4. The West and Europe in roles: weak, fragmented, instrumental. A recurring theme is that Europe is portrayed as indifferent to its own autonomy, controlled by external centers, the US, foundations, etc., incapable of quickly coordinating policies, and vulnerable to economic costs and PR shocks. The presenters emphasize, ironically or directly, that Europe is pumped up by war for military-industrial interests, that its allies are hesitant, and that Brussels is ineffective. European readers should note, this rhetoric is aimed at creating the image of an external enemy, while simultaneously undermining the notion of Western policy unity. It is an attempt to shift the center of political responsibility from Moscow to disagreements within Europe. This was the program Empire of Lies. See you soon.